Howdy. I have no idea how live streaming works, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me here. Um, Carl, let's be honest. I don't deliver very much. Anyways, yeah, I started early. I know it's only 4:40, but it doesn't matter. Um, I don't really have the volume's too low. Um, I don't know. Turn your volume up. I have no idea how this works. It doesn't appear that I have any control over the volume. Um, the video is like 15 frames a second. Let's see. Is it really quiet or do I need to speak louder? Um, it's not going to be great, I'll be honest. Don't have the best internet connection. Do I still have the red Supra? No, not at all. Sold the red Supra a long ass time ago. Sold it, I want to say 2 years ago? Something like that. Mark IV content will probably be soon. I'm in Texas right now. As you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt. But the Mark IV Supra is in Chicago. So, and currently we're all quarantined. That's why I'm doing a live stream. And so I can't work on the car until we can go outside of our house, I guess. I gotta drive to Chicago. I gotta work on the car there. Until then, this is all I have. What color are we gonna paint this Supra? This one? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. You guys let me know. I was thinking like blue, because Albon is like blue, but yeah. RX-7, that wasn't mine. I borrowed that from my friend Richard. Yeah. Silver, I mean, to be fair, the front bumper's already silver, so it wouldn't be a bad move. And yes, you're more than welcome to have a ride in the car. Let's see, what are your plans for the Mark IV? Okay, Mark IV, we need to finish up. I have kind of a special secret project on the Mark IV. I may as well talk about it now. I haven't started it, but well, the Mark IV we're going to finish up. We're going to get it tuned. It's going to make some horsepower, and then hopefully we'll blow up the automatic trans, and then we have a special project for that later. But yeah, that's the plans for the Mark IV. Today I'm actually just putting the interior back in. It's really cool, but kind of necessary. It's very loud without the interior. There's no sound deadening in the back. I've finished everything. So you guys, there's one or two episodes that's still being edited right now. The car is fully together. Are we back? I don't know if we're back. Okay, awesome. Yeah, look, my internet connection is subpar because there's a monopoly. Yeah, it's America. What are you gonna do? Let's see what else. Yeah, so just doing the interior Mini. I'm gonna work on the Mini. I know I say that a lot, but I actually do it sometime. Paint the color of your eyes black. No. What else? What else? Oh man, I want to tell you guys. Uh, I love the style of editing your videos. Thank you. If anyone can guess what director I copy in terms of my editing style, you win brownie points. I don't know. There is one particular director who is my favorite director, who I love a lot. And so all of my videos are actually kind of in that vein. Please don't install updates, computer. Nope, not Quentin Tarantino, not clearly enough violence and it's not Mighty Car Mods, although Mighty Car Mods is wonderful. eBay Turbo, the Mark IV. There's already a Borg Warner Turbo on the Mark. Why would I put an eBay Turbo on it? Oh, you're picking up a JZX 100. Can you help me drop a new motor? Yeah, man. Bring it here. If you bring it here, I will more than happily help you put a motor in it. Why is it? If you think the garage is a mess from this angle, you have not seen it from this angle, which I could show you. The TJ Hunt Bull. From which website did you get the cheap Mark IV? No website. So a lot of people. Okay, so this question a lot of people ask about. Everyone, like, I get tons of DMs and stuff, and everyone's like, where did you get the Mark IV Supra from, and like, where do you find cheap Supras? And so there's no good answer to that, unfortunately. Our Mark IV Supra we bought from somebody we know who's also a Supra person. So this person had it as a project and then had other projects, couldn't finish this project, so it was sitting. So we went over there and offered him some money, and we bought it because that's how the community works, and it's quite wonderful. But in general, the cheapest Supras you're going to find, you got to search for them. You got to go on Craigslist. You got to go. Facebook is the biggest place. There's a bunch of Facebook groups. They all have really weird names, but you just search Supra for sale and then try to join these like private groups and stuff like that. And you'll get cars in there every once in a while, but you got to act fast, man. Like, these cars go like that, especially in this market. Does your friend with an RX-7 have an Instagram? Yes. He does not have a YouTube channel. He has an Instagram, which is, his name is Richard Varela, and I don't know his exact handle. I could look that up for you, but I really don't remember. Let's see. It is, okay, I don't have a keyboard. That's okay. All right, it just search Richard and then Varela, Varela. You'll find him. There's like some numbers in there and stuff like that. Okay. I'm reading the thing over here. Anyways. You want to put a big turbo in your Focus ST? I don't know anything about Focus STs, but I say do it. Just don't blow up your motor, or blow up your motor. I mean, it's all good. Put a new motor in it. Yes. Elias in the chat has got it. Richard Varela Jr. And that is his Instagram. Go check it out. He's got some awesome cars. He's got a Charlotte yellow BRZ or Series yellow BRZ. He's got the FDRX7, which is single turbo, Borg Warner, S366, same turbo that's in our Mark IV Supra. Lots of mods, very low mileage. He's got a Buick Grand National. He's got a Lexus GX. He's got a 4Runner. He's got all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, now that you've been working on the new Supra, do you still believe it has Toyota DNA in it? Okay, so it's a good question. Do I believe it has Toyota DNA in it? Yes, absolutely. There's a bunch of stuff in the car that's like very like, okay, I see, I get it. That being said, is it very BMW? Yes, it's super BMW. Like, just because of like, it's manufactured by Magna BMW subsidiary. So BMW puts things together in a way that's different from how Toyota puts things together. So Toyota has a very universal type of manufacturing that exists across pretty much all of their plants in all the different countries they manufacture in. BMW is the same way, and so inherently a lot of this stuff goes together like a BMW because, again, manufactured by BMW. So it is very BMW. However, still driving it and driving it back to back, I still enjoy it. I still think it's wonderful. We can argue about that all day, but you know, that's how it is. Oh, everyone gave up on director guesses. I am into Hot Wheels, yes. The director is Edgar Wright. So if you guys have seen any of his movies, Hot Fuzz, the Cornetto trilogy, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the sort of fast cut, jump cut, transition. If you watch the movies, you'll understand. But definitely, if you haven't seen all of Edgar Wright's movies, every single one, then you're literally sitting at home. Go watch them right now And yes, I am into Hot Wheels. I have a bunch. Like, I'll post a picture on my Instagram one day or something. Like, I just have like a big old table full of Hot Wheels, and they're all like staged up. It's very childish, but yeah. What's going on in Texas? Nothing. Thank God. It's very quiet here. It's wonderful. It's beautiful weather. 75 degrees outside. It was 96 degrees the day before yesterday. Um, it's hot. There's not that many sick people, which is a good thing, but everyone's still staying at home, so it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Chicago, I will be back after lockdown, whenever that is. So the reason is a big reason is you guys can see how well you guys can see this. I will point you guys a little bit in this direction. As you guys can see, the car is still on the old Jackie's hood. I have a new hood for the car. It is in Chicago though, because I get all of my parts from Elmhurst Toyota in Chicago. I know people there, wonderful place. I get a pretty good discount. So I have pretty much all the sensors, all the airbags, the hood, a bunch of stuff for this car, and it's all sitting in Chicago right next to the Mark IV Supra. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Eventually I'll go there, we'll work on this. Let's see, what else? Are you an Indian? Just asking. No, I'm not. Thank you very much. Are you going to paint it or wrap it, and what color? Okay, yeah, so most likely this is what I'll do. The majority of the car is still in turbulence gray, and it's good. It's a brand new car. It's got 3,000 miles on it, and the paint is great. So on like the whole left side of the car. What I will probably do is all the bodywork that gets done, I will repaint the car gray and just the factory gray. So the car underneath will be a totally factory gray car. And then after the paint gasses out and all that stuff, I will probably end up wrapping it. That's the idea right now. I'll see, depending on obviously price and maybe if I get some sponsorships or whatever. We'll wrap it, we'll do like a livery on it, and then we'll make it look real cool. I'm still thinking blue because I like blue. The Albon thingy is blue. So, you know, we'll see. Yeah. If I had to choose a brand other than Toyota, which one would it be? Ooh, this is a good question. I'm curious about what you guys think of this. Like, what's your main brand, and then what's like your next brand over? Like for me, Toyota's my go-to. I mean, you guys know this. I pretty much only work on Toyotas. Next would probably be Subaru. I know this kind of sucks cliche. I'm not into the whole like vape scene, but I do love Subarus. I love flat fours. I love their weird flat sixes. Like, ideal car would be like the new Outback XT with the 2.4 turbo and like modded. I know that sounds really stupid, but I like wagons. So yeah, Subaru probably. Other than that, I'd like to just jump into something I don't like. I'd like to buy a Volkswagen. I know that's like anyone who knows me is like that's stupid, but like I'd like to just do something different. I think I will try. Maybe we'll see. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm falling behind. Sorry guys. You should open a shop. I'm broke, man. I don't have no money for a shop. What do you do for a living? How can you afford these cars? Okay, so I've done many things, namely film production. So I used to make videos for businesses, boring stuff, like small businesses need onboarding videos and stuff like that. That's why I'm good with the cameras, et cetera, et cetera. I had a brief stint in a hedge fund, and then, yeah, I'm also pretty much spend all my money on cars. So, yeah. Take off all the fake vents, make them functional. It's hard, man. maybe the hood. I'll do that. No, maybe not. I don't know. I'll try. I'll see. I don't know. That's for later. Any wheel ideas? I'm like answering every question. I feel like it's fine. Wheel ideas. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't like big wheels. That being said, we have the stock 19s, and look what the UPS guy just delivered today. Ugh. Okay. So I got a brand new set of tires for these stock wheels, and then if I do get wheels, I want to go 18s. So I want to go down a size. The only issue is the only people that make good 18-inch size is Titan forged wheels, and everyone runs them. These are the same wheels that Jackie runs on his cars. His are 18 by 10.7, really big. He runs them square as well, all the way around 10.7-inch wheels. So I'm waiting for more 18-inch wheel options. Once there's more 18-inch wheel options, maybe an 18 by 10, 18 by 10 and a half, I wouldn't mind running a square setup. I want to see how Jackie's car drives. Hopefully sometime soon me and Jackie will link up, and then we can kind of talk about setups and stuff like that. Obviously he knows more about the platform than I do because he actually races. Collaborate with Team FRZ. I don't know who that is. I'll check him out. I guess tell him the same thing. I'd love to collaborate with anyone, man. I am more than happy to. Black and blue, heck yeah. Mitsubishi and Honda for Mr. Grape. Okay, respect. I really want to jump into the Mitsu game too. Hondas, love Hondas. Obviously, I have a Honda motor in my Mini Cooper, which again, Carl, please don't. But I love Hondas, K Series, B Series, all of them. Love them. Mitsus, I don't have any experience with DSMs. Like my cousin's stuff used to have Talons and all this stuff, but I never was in the scene. So, yeah, man. Let's see, Ford and Dodge. Awesome, awesome. Used to have a Cummins, 12 valve. What a car, man. Such an, I was lifted. It's very, not characteristic of me, but, you know. Let's see, Christopher from Hawaii. Can a Mark V still beat a C8? I've seen the Supra loses to C8s in drag races. Okay, C8s make more horsepower, right? Yeah, 495 horsepower I think a C8 makes. This makes like 380-ish. So a tuned Supra would probably do it, but no, a C8's definitely faster. C8 performance-wise is like, nobody beats a C8, man. This stuff's wild. You should get an Evo. I'd love to get an Evo, man. That'd be sweet. Subies. Yes, love Subies. Do you still have the Red Mark IV? No, mentioned that earlier. Sold it like 2 years ago. Awesome, awesome car. Awesome, awesome, awesome car. But ended up selling it. Moved on to different stuff. Would you have a town hall debate with Scotty Kilmer if he agreed to come to Dallas? Yes, absolutely. Scotty Kilmer has a lot of opinions that I don't personally agree with. He seems like a wonderful guy, crazy Uncle Scotty, but not for me, man. Let's see. Oh yeah, Carl also has a Honda engine attached to his Mini, and he's also not done with it. He's just a lot farther than I am in a lot less time. Oh yes, okay. So I used to be in Chicago. I have moved to Texas, like not even 6 months ago. I kind of just moved base here, but a lot of the projects are still in Chicago at my brother's house. So I'll be going back after quarantine, working on them. So yeah. Oh hey Nate. Hey Shadow 99 reviews. Awesome. Have you driven Hachiroku? No, I have not. I would really, really, really love to drive an A86. The only person I knew with an A86 was my friend Daniel back in college, and his never ran. So because his car never ran, I never drove it. So you know, that's just how it goes. If anyone, I know Jackie has a A86, so maybe when I'm up there, we'll check it out and stuff like that. Love to drive one. Super into the 4AG. I've dreamed about Formula Atlantic 20 valves. Like it's a whole thing, but they're too expensive. I would never buy one. I mean, I would, but if I had lots of money. Have I driven a 3K GT VR4? I have not. I've always wanted to drive a VR4 3000 GT. Um, yeah, Mitsu wise, the only thing DSM I've driven just your classic 1G, 2G Eclipses, your classic 4G 63 powered. What are your thoughts on rotaries? Okay, rotaries are the greatest things ever. Uh, Meme, Rob Dumb, Triangle, Scooter. Anyways, um, I really want to do a rotary build. RX-7s are getting more. I should have bought an RX-7 4 years ago, said every car guy ever. But I do want to do a rotary build. I don't think there's too much content of people kind of putting themselves out there, trying to port things themselves. Like obviously Rob Dom, there's a couple rotary guys on YouTube, but I would really love to get an RX-7 project, with blown seals, take it apart, do a street port on it, put it back together, show how rotaries work. I don't personally believe that rotaries are these horrendous, unreliable things. They certainly can be, but I mean, my Supra broke down every 2 weeks too. Just depends on who built it, who's touched it over time, and that kind of stuff. So if you guys look at my buddy Richard, we posted his Instagram earlier in the chat. He has an RX-7. It has been completed for, I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years. It doesn't break. It hasn't broken once. It doesn't put too many miles on it, but it's great. It makes 500 horsepower-ish or whatever, 400, 500 horsepower. It's fast. It looks good. It sounds good. It's never broken. He just puts, 2-stroke oil premix in the gas tank, and that's it. So RX-7, definitely very soon on the list, assuming I can find one. And I want to build a rotary. The coolest things in the whole wide world. Am I considering delivering tofu? That'd be kind of cool, actually. I don't know. Nobody buys tofu. Maybe if I lived in like San Francisco, I could deliver tofu. Hey, that's kind of an interesting idea for anyways. I love your channel. It's very well done. You took a car down. Thank you. Thank you very much. I try to make it a little bit slightly different. More something I like. Is Albon your real name? No, definitely not. For those of you who don't know, Albon is an acronym. It stands for a little bit of nothing. Yes, I know, that's very stupid. Me and Zane came up with it a long time ago. This channel wasn't supposed to be a car channel. It was supposed to be we're supposed to make if you guys have seen Good Mythical Morning, we're going to make like a weird version of that. Anyways, that's why it's called A Little Bit of Nothing. I'm glad we made a car channel. That would have been really stupid if we did the other thing. Props from H-Town. Yay, H-Town. Love H-Town. I go to H-Town all the time. Yes, rotary build would be awesome. Super interesting rotary. Yes, rotary is awesome. Some of the coolest stuff. Do you think Toyota will release a new Supra in the future with mostly their tech? All right. Do you want the honest answer? The answer is no. It's maybe the last Supra we get ever. I mean, I know that's kind of a stupid thing to say, but certainly as a internal combustion engine car, the 5th generation Supra is probably the last Supra that isn't going to have batteries or electric power in it, assuming. So where do we go from there? I don't know. Toyota obviously has great electric tech, fuel cell tech. I don't know if you guys know this, but when the Supra project was, I'm sure you guys have seen my video about it, when the Supra project was first devised, it also included a bunch of other technology sharing between BMW and Toyota. That included hydrogen fuel cell EV technology. If you guys have seen in the news, BMW recently announced some fuel cell EV stuff. That's Toyota tech. Kind of crazy, right? So that's part of Toyota sharing technology with BMW. So it's kind of funny how that works out. Now people who drive BMW EVs in the future, fuel cell ones specifically, we're going to be driving Toyota technology. So it's kind of interesting. Which do you like better, the Mark IV or the Mark V? So, Mr. PH1M0. That's a great question. The Mark IVs are different. They're more raw, right? There's less stuff. There's a lot of quirks. There's a lot of bad stuff about a Mark IV. When you drive it, it's because they're all kind of old, they're all kind of tired, they're very loose. The power steering in Mark IVs sucks, it's terrible. I know people complain about electronic power steering now, but like the Mark IV had a bad hydraulic system, which is like it was over assisted. Like there was feel, but it was like I don't know, it wasn't nice. Um, they're also scary. I mean, most people know who have Supras with horsepower, like my red car. They're terrifying. They're so scary to drive, as most cars are with a lot of horsepower. But those cars in particular, I have seen myself, people die in those cars, so it's not great. The Mark V, out the box, it's just so much newer. It is so much more capable. It is so much more comfortable. It is so much more quiet. The steering, albeit it has less feel, the weighting of it is so much better. It's just better to drive all around. It's better on the highway. It's better in the twisties. The car feels more nimble than a Mark IV does. It's faster than a Mark IV. So, yeah. Which do I like better? I'm gonna go ahead and say the Mark IV, just because like it's a special car for me. Like it holds a good place in my heart. I've had a lot of them, like me and my brothers, and like that's what built my car obsession, Mark IV Supras. So when you do rotary, first, second, or third gen. Okay, so I'm an FD RX-7 kind of guy. I like FCs. FBs are, they're old. So I don't know. I would get an FD. The Turbo 2 FCs and stuff are really cool, but I'm not super into the whole 80s design and stuff. What was your first car? Toyota Avalon, 1999. Toyota. So, awesome car. It's great, man. V6. It was a champagne beige gold color. Had the 5 spokes with the twists and like two-tone. Toyota's been doing two-tone wheels for a long time. Still doing it now. But, man, the car was nice. Had 250,000 miles on it, roughly, and then sold it. So, let's see. I miss your B-roll heavy car videos. Any plans for making them some after COVID? Mr. DJ Maya 3D. B-roll heavy car videos. Do you mean like the video essays? Like the history of this and the true story behind that? Yes, I'm working on the history of TRD and Gazoo racing right now. That's in the works. I should have that out hopefully in the next couple weeks. That one's gonna be pretty cool. Obviously, I know Toyota, but I got all this information on Toyota because of this stuff, so I may as well turn it into videos. Have you heard rumors about new MR2? I have. I think there's much less of a chance of that happening than a lot of other cars. I think the car to look out for from Toyota right now, obviously the GR86. I've heard some bad things from some inside sources. Bad things meaning Subaru's taking over the project very strongly, and it's a little less what the old one was. But the new car to look out for is the GR Corolla, which will have GR Yaris drivetrain parts. Supposedly going to make it to the United States, so that's going to be awesome. I will buy one of those. If the GR Corolla comes to the United States, I will buy that shit up immediately. Car version of sci-fi lol. Electric Supra. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that's the future. So as far as putting an electric motor in a Mark IV, man, that'd be crazy. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I could do it in a Mark III. Mark IV guys will tell you Mark III Supras aren't Supras anyway. Children. Will you come to Dubai one day? Yeah, man. Sure. I'd love to go to Dubai. Dubai is sweet. Will you be racing your Z4 with Albon Racing? Z4, funny. Yeah. Yeah, so this car's going to get some good track time, hopefully, pretty soon. We're in quarantine. I'm already signed up for a track day in August. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, considering quarantine. But we'll see. That is in Chicago, Joliet Autobahn. So that'll be fun. That was courtesy of Toyota. They gave me a free track day. 2 free track days. Well, a free one and a discounted one. So respect Toyota. You guys are awesome. GR Yaris, yes, GR Yaris already available in UK and Japan. Super awesome inline three turbo, rally car, all-wheel drive, six-speed manual, 270 horsepower. The coolest thing in the world, man. I swear. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? Much love from Chicago. Ah, George. How you doing, man? Mr. Chew himself. Oh, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. When you do your FD, you can do a video on Mazda Speed, Racing Beat, Mazda Tricks. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. I've been thinking about doing more videos on um, just all that kind of stuff. Obviously, TRD and all of its stuff, Mazda Speed. And then I've been thinking about doing videos on like cool tuning houses. I feel like that's not as much as done as other things. Like I feel like a video on like Aria Memia would be pretty cool, and like seeing how they started and how they became what they became. So I think that'd be pretty sweet. Do you think they'll do a soft top Mark V Supra? Definitely not. I don't think so. No, I don't think this is ever going to happen. I think the Z4 will stay convertible and the Supra will stay a slick top, hard top. I don't think there's any chance, not even a target top. I feel like target top is still a long shot, man. Like, I don't know. It's just weird, man. At this rate, especially with how the economy is, like, I don't want to get too much into it, but um, like, I have a feeling a lot of summer releases for cars, including the 2021 Supra, um, they might get pushed back. So because of all this virus stuff. So any power upgrades planned? Turbo exhaust, 100 shot of nitrous. 100 shot of nitrous. That'd be wild. Okay, I haven't told you guys this. I already tuned this car. So downpipe is on the way, and I already did a stage 2 tune on the car. So it's probably making like 480 wheel torque or something like that, like something stupid. That's what the stage 2s usually make. Like 450 to something wheel torque. It's fast, man. It's really fast. Like all it was an Android phone and like a little USB thing, and you literally just go like this, and you upload the tune, and all of a sudden the car's making 100 wheel horsepower more. It's stupid fast, man. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, more power upgrades coming soon. Downpipe, no nitrous. I'm not super into that. Eventually, I'd like to do like a big turbo, all that stuff, but eventually I want to enjoy the car as it's stage 1 or whatever. Favorite Daft Punk album? I hate to be like a sell. I'm not. It's not sellout, but Random Access Memories is just one of my favorites of all time. Just like period of my life when I first listened to it and like all the stuff. I think it's just a wonderful album. Makes me feel great. Oh, you meant videos like the Japan trip and California trip. Oh, yeah. Traveling videos, you mean? Yeah. I would love to travel some more. But yeah, it's traveling videos soon, definitely. I want to do everywhere. I want to go to Canada, see the Speed Academy guys. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And Throttle House, love those guys. James, love you. I want to come visit you guys sometime soon. Yeah, man, world tour, man. I'll go anywhere. Just, when there's less viruses. Your thoughts on Model 3 performance? Okay, so this is a great question. I'm curious to see what you guys think of these cars as well. I used to be a Tesla hater. I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest. Like, oh, they have no soul and all that garbage. I used to say that about a GTR and then I drove one. GTRs are awesome. Anyways, Tesla Model 3 performance, I think, wonderful car, okay? I don't totally agree with the way Tesla does everything. That's fine, man. I don't agree with how most manufacturers do everything. I think Tesla presents a very interesting sort of, what's the best way to say it? But like, I think it's a very interesting option. Certainly the Model 3 performance is very fast, very, very fast. The new Track Mode V2, it gives you enough looseness with the traction controls and stability control systems. I have a little fun. I think that's awesome. Check out my friend Supra 2NV. Supra 2 NV on Instagram. He just got a Model 3 Performance. He's always doing crazy stuff with it. He put it on Olin's coilovers. A lot of cool stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'm hoping EV tuning becomes like really big and like because it has to. Like all these cars are going EV. EV tuning has to become big. I know Sasha Anise, Canada. He's doing tuning stuff on Model 3s and stuff like that. So I'm into it, man. I hope. I'd like to drive one. I haven't driven one. I've only driven a Model S, like a 75 or whatever. But I'd really like to drive a proper Model 3 Performance or P100D or the new plaid mode Tesla Model S. Anyways, Tesla keep making fast cars. Eventually, everyone else will catch up too, and hopefully you guys are making good stuff. Anyways, let's see what else. Sorry guys, let me just make sure chat is all good. Have I ever drifted? Yes, I've done a fair bit of drifting in my life. Not a ton of. I haven't done any sanctioned stuff. I would like to. Don't have a drift car myself right now, but I do have a bunch of friends. One of which was just in the chat, Mr. Achu and Luke and all the other guys up in Chicago. They are the Drifter Boys, and hopefully I'll be going out to a couple events with them sometime soon. But yeah, I'd like to start drifting. I have the BRZ, but I'm probably going to get rid of the BRZ sometime soon and just daily drive the Supra. I'd like to drift the Supra. I think that'd be fun. I don't think there's many Supras at drift events, so as soon as I get a chance, I might take the Supra out to a drift day, start to learn it. Obviously, shorter wheelbase. I have done a little bit of sliding in the Supra before. It's not so bad. I don't know why. I know Jason Camisa and stuff said it's twitchy. I think the alignment was off in their press car because the car's very progressive. All the Supras I've driven have been very progressive. But anyways, that's another thing. Yes, I'm going to drift some more. If you ran Toyota, what type of vehicle would you build? GR Century with a new version of the old V12. Ooh. That's delicious. I don't know. To be honest, the GR Corolla, I think is 100% like one of my ideal vehicles. All-wheel drive, turbocharged, small, nimble, 6-speed manual. It's a throwback to the Celica GT4, which is one of my favorite cars of all time, and I think that would be probably the coolest car. So Toyota needs to actually make that, and they actually supposedly are. So yeah, I would, if I ran Toyota, I'd be making that first and foremost, and then I don't know what else. That's about it, to be honest. And yes, I'd like to have more fast Supras, but I guess they're doing that too. When you're watching Albon live stream, the cat starts jumping around. Oof. Yes. Y'all haven't seen, my brother's cat. It's the cutest cat. Anyways, I haven't put him in any videos. Right, okay. I think I'm pretty caught up on questions here. Wow, all right. That's not bad. I guess I could start working on a car and stuff. What do you think of new super SUVs like the Lamborghini Urus, RSQ8, Bentley Bentayga? That's a good question. Look, okay, I'd like to say like different strokes for different folks, right? If you're into those super fast SUV things, like that's cool. I think they're silly. Silly in the sense that they don't necessarily do anything very well. Like personally, I'd say like an SUV should either be like a very luxurious way to haul around 7 people, or like a Chevy Suburban. Like you could throw like 9 people on it and like a small mammal, a cow in the trunk. Like I think SUVs should be practical. Like a Bentley Bentayga, like I get it. Like rich people want to have a crossover, I guess. It is. I think the Lamborghini Urus is a horrendously ugly car, and I mean, if they're selling, man. Let people buy stuff they like. But It's I think yeah, I mean like Jamie like waste of space, literally killing the planet. To be fair, like I don't do great stuff to the planet either, but at the same time, it's like yeah, I don't know. I think they're a bit impractical, especially like if you don't have 7 people to carry around all the time. Like, why do you need a big car that big? Like, I got a Chevy Suburban. Like, I got a big old family, man. And like I got a farm. We go out to the farm. I got goats. Um, Okay, hey, ZNS Mail, nice. What about the Mazda 3? What about the Mazda 3? Okay, Mazda makes potentially one of the most brilliant looking hatchbacks in the Mazda 3, right? They just came out with the Mazda 3 all-wheel drive, or not just, but like recently. It was a bit of a letdown, wasn't the best. The Mazda 3, if Mazda could bring back Mazda Speed, right? And all they need to do, because the CX-9 and I think the CX-5 as well has the 2.5-liter turbo power plant and all-wheel drive. Okay, it doesn't even need to be all-wheel drive. Take that engine, put it in the Mazda 3. Okay, 2.5-liter turbo. Change the tune on it so it's a little bit less like for an SUV. Like more horsepower, less torque, and you would have a masterpiece on your hand. It's a beautiful looking hatchback. It'd be fast as hell. You can leave it front wheel drive, but the Civic's doing front wheel drive just great. But man, the Mazda 3, oof, goodness gracious. It would be awesome. If there was a Speed, Mazda, you make awesome cars. The new Miata, it's wonderful. But like, man, make a Mazda Speed 3. I think everyone would love it. Let's see. In the UAE, they build SUVs faster than Porsche 19s. Yeah, man, they got the Nissan Patrols, which are like diesels and making 60 trillion horsepower. Those are awesome, man. Those are cool. I'm not even gonna talk about that. Honda Element, that's a car. Sedans and SUVs, dude. I mean, like sedans are like. I think being a '90s baby, I like sedans, and so I don't know why older people seem to like crossovers. I think it's because they think they're safer, but it's like you can't judge the safeness of a car based off of how big it is because that's just not how it works. Like I assure you, like this 2020 Camry that's sitting in the driveway right here is far, 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 far safer than like I don't know, like the Jeep Grand Cherokee or like whatever big car is out there because like safety is about the car itself. It's not necessarily about how big the car is. Anyways, people don't get that. Hey, Albon, I'm from Greece. Yeah, hello, hi. I can't even read your name. That's how much of a different language that is. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Texas, sunny old Texas. Let Rob Don run Mazda. If Rob Don ran Mazda, every car would have a 4-rotor in it, and none of them would work. So, I think it's not bad, but it is what it is. In USA, supercars are faster, and UAE SUVs are faster. Yeah, man, that is true. Money no object. What would be your daily driver? Lexus LFA. Lexus LFA. That's it. That's the dream car. It's the car I had a poster of. It's the car that I will always strive for. If somehow me doing this garbage or whatever, I somehow make a lot of money, the first thing I'm going to do is buy a god dang Lexus LFA. I think it's the coolest car ever. Very flawed car, yes, but one of the coolest cars ever. I'm a Toyota fanboy. It represents the ultimate expression of Toyota-ness. So yeah, Lexus LFA. Thoughts on the Kia Stinger GT2? Okay, so the Stinger I've heard great things about. I haven't driven one. I want to drive that and the the Genesis G60, 70, 80? I don't remember. The Stinger version of the Stinger's ugly, but I've heard it drives very well. So I'd really enjoy the Genesis version because it looks a lot better. I've heard chassis are good, very dynamic. Many people compare them to BMW 3 Series, 5 Series, which are very dynamic cars in and of itself. So, yeah. Would you put a Sienna on bags? Okay. Sienna on bags? Maybe. Prius on bags? Okay, I'm not a bags guy, right? RIP AccuAir, by the way. Small business is really suffering. But Prius on bags would be sick. I'm sorry, that'd be great. Prius on bags with like camber. I'm not into that stuff, but you know, whatever. Would you rather drive a Honda S660 or Suzuki Cappuccino from Ichitaka? Suzuki Cappuccino, definitely. Honda S660 is cool, but it's like a classic car or whatever. The Cappuccino is newer, and it's like kind of weird, quirky, like a AutoZone AZ1 or whatever. S660s are old. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, cappuccinos are awesome. When are you actually starting the Supra build series? Been waiting for a long time. I don't know if you're talking about right now, me working on the car, or if you're talking about me continuing working on this thing or the Mark IV. I don't know. Right now, I'm just answering questions, man. We're just having fun. You know, I think you guys would rather have me answer your questions than me literally screwing in interior panels because that's all I have to do today. So, yeah, it's not fun. Build a Nissan Patrol, dude. I would love. We don't have Nissan Patrols here, so you know. But I'd love to build a Nissan Patrol. I would really love to build one of those Nissan V8s that what's his name? Mighty Car Mods guys did. Turbo Yoda and them did. That'd be awesome. Toyota Camry V6 or Honda Accord 2.0T? Good question. I have not driven the Accord yet. I've heard it's pretty good. The Camry V6, there's one right there. It's my sister's car. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful car. Love the car. Very comfortable. The V6 is great. Tons, way more horsepower than any soccer mom needs. The Honda Accord, I've heard good things as well, but I need to drive it. I've heard very good things, in fact. Is the LC500 a good LFA relative? Okay. The answer to that is no. No, not really. The LC500, by the way, just 2 days ago they announced the new 2021. I will hopefully be getting an LC500 to drive around sometime soon, talking to Toyota about that. I do want to get a proper review of it. It is not an LFA, nor is it related to an LFA. An LC500 is a luxury cruising car, and the LFA is something different entirely. The LFA was a sort of technical experiment. And so there are some similarities in some regards. Yes, the dash looks the same and all this and that, but they don't drive the same. And the LC500, it's a wonderful luxury car. It's not a good sports car. It doesn't have that element of connection that a good sports car needs. So, yeah. Thoughts on swapping B58 with a 2JZ? Not going to do that because the B58 is a fantastic motor. I have a 2JZ block, but it's got some thrust bearing damage and stuff, so I'd have to get it repaired. It's way too complicated, man. These new cars, it's very difficult to swap motors. They use quite complex CAN bus systems, and it's a whole thing. Yeah. Let's see what else. What sneakers are you rocking? I am wearing some Onitsuka Tigers right now. The Onitsuka Tiger slip-ons. These ones are my garage shoes. I beat them very much. Onitsuka Tiger is the greatest brand of shoes. They're wonderful. They make very good styles. Kill Bill, etc., etc. Marty and Moog wear them. I wear them. Etc., etc. Turbo Yoda, yes. Love Turbo Yoda, man. Okay, Turbo Yoda, what a class act. I have had so many issues with like builds that I've done, and I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to message Turbo Yoda and see what he says. He's responded to me every time and always answered my questions. So, God bless that man. Such a wonderful guy. Let's see, Elias. Veloster N. Awesome car. Awesome car. I really want to drive the Veloster N, i30N, the new stuff. Get a good gauge for it. I haven't been driving them in a while. But Veloster N, awesome. Honestly, dude, Hyundai, you guys are doing great work. Props. The Genesis line, the N stuff, it's really good. V8 Land Cruisers, excellent. My brother has an LX 570. It is wonderful. How's quarantine? You see what I'm doing? Live streaming, man. That's how quarantine's going. Not to say it's a bad thing. I'm actually really enjoying this. Um, uh, let's see. But yeah, a lot of quarantine's been. It kind of sucks being at home, just stuck here. All the parts for this car in Chicago, tons and tons of parts, like tons of parts for this car are sitting in Chicago, waiting to get put onto this thing. But they can't because I'm stuck here in Texas. So quarantine sucks, but it is what it is. How did you lose so much weight in 3 years? Diet and exercise. So um, that's about it. Got a little more focused on my health because health issues abound, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, diet and exercise. So that's about it. There's tons of great, great, great content online, real science-based stuff, analytical stuff. If you guys want to follow some people, Jeff Nippard, Christopher Barakat, Ishak, Matt Ogus, a lot of great like bodybuilding, fitness stuff. Stephanie Buttermore, they talk about science of nutrition as well. Awesome stuff. Yes, be healthy. It's much better being healthy than was not. So, would you buy another salvage car? Yes. You guys see that crashed orange C8 Corvette? I'm not buying it. I couldn't afford it if I wanted to, but yeah, I thought about it. Not, but I thought about it. So, anyways, I'll take the 2JZ block off your hands. No, man, I ain't giving that 2JZ block up for nothing. I'm saving that, man. I'm gonna do a 2JZ build sometime. So, thoughts on real electric turbos like the torque amp on Clean? Okay, Quentin. Electric turbos are awesome. They have existed for some time. Real ones, not just fans. There was a company called Phantom ESC. I don't know if they're still in business. They were making electric superchargers for BRZ 86s many years ago, like 5-6 years ago, and they were really good. Proper high torque motor connected to the actual, like an actual turbo compressor side with a real compressor wheel. They're effective, and the technology is developing. Now you see OEMs doing it. Mercedes, Audi. I don't know who else, but certainly Mercedes and Audi both. They do have electric superchargers that are built as pre-chargers, and so the technology will progress. Maybe we won't have exhaust turbochargers anymore because the technology is moving in that direction. So you guys maybe have seen Comp Turbo has released a air-cooled center cartridge turbo, so like no oil and no water fade. So you can mount the turbo wherever you want. It doesn't have to be vertical anymore. You can mount it like this, you can mount it like this, you can mount it anywhere. Still exhaust driven, but it's a lot of cool new stuff. So have you seen the E-Canoe Mark V Supra? Yes, Ibrahim Canoe, always doing very cool stuff. The color on his car, awesome, man. Like I would do that color or maybe a little bit different color. Power to weight ratio must be off. That's funny. LS swap the Mark IV Supra. Nah, man. How much do you bench? I stopped flat benching because I hurt my rotator cuff. But when I was flat benching, I was doing, I think 185 for reps. I didn't one rep max. I never one rep max because I care about my shoulders. Are you going to paint your Supra? Yes. The silver one, too, actually needs repainting. Thoughts on hydrogen? It's a wonderful element. Very high up on the periodic table. Okay. Hydrogen fuel cells, on the other hand, awesome. I think they are the future. With a big asterisk. Electric vehicles are definitely the future. Fuel cell vehicles are the most practical application of electric vehicles. And I say this because you guys have already seen it's difficult to charge electric vehicles. It's difficult to drive them long distances, which, like certainly in the United States of America, is something that a lot of people do. So you need to incorporate some way of recharging electric vehicles on the go. People tried battery swaps, people tried this, people tried that. It didn't really work. Hydrogen fuel cells presents an interesting opportunity. It has its own flaws, certainly. There's no hydrogen network. They really only exist in Japan, some parts of California. But Toyota has been working on, and Honda have been working on hydrogen fuel cell technology for quite some time, and it's really developing. BMW is now sharing that technology from Toyota, thanks to the Toyota Supra. So, and hydrogen fuel cells are definitely going to be a staple in the future. So, yeah, electric turbos, dude, electric turbos on a hybrid, man. At that point, it's an EV, but how many Supras have you owned, and how many have you blown or crashed? Okay, great question. So, total Supras owned would be 12 Mark IVs, and then one Mark V, so 13 Supras. Total crashed, 0. Blown up, 0. So, doing very well. So, this is between me and my brothers. But 13 Supras, all of them have been target tops. 11 of them have been turbos. One of them has been an NA. I could go through the list. I have it written down somewhere. It was like 97 turbo 6-speed, 94 turbo 6-speed. I have them all written down. Owned a few autos, including the current one, and then, but yeah, so I guess 13 Supras total, including that. Would you buy a C8 in the future? I don't want to be like YouTuber or whatever, but like the C8 looks really cool. Okay, like I appreciate a lot of the technology that went into the C8. I think it's a very interesting advancement. I always appreciate when a manufacturer goes against tradition and does something unorthodox in order to move the brand forward, which is like I think that's a fantastic representation of what the C8 is. They put the engine in the back, and they changed everything about it, but they still retained a lot of that Chevy DNA. And so I think it's a really cool car. I wouldn't pay $100,000 for one, which is what they go for these days. The $60,000 Corvette doesn't actually exist, which you guys have probably read articles about. But I'd love one. Maybe in like 3-4 years, I'll buy some garbage one or crashed one. But it is what it is. So, is it still really hard to hold hydrogen because the molecules are so small, it diffuses through metal tanks? So there's a lot of stuff about storing hydrogen. Obviously, there's composite tanks that are used, and different things regarding the type of tanks and stuff. Obviously, there's also the fact that there's a pressurized tank, but in the end, is that more dangerous than a big tank of petrol? Not really. So there's still a lot of niggly bits, certainly, when it comes to the specifics of electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. But I think it's still, Toyota's doing a lot of development that we don't see in the news. Toyota in Japan is still pouring money into hydrogen fuel cell development. And now that BMW has joined the fray with the same technology, I think it's going to move even faster now, because BMW is very focused on building electric vehicles. If you guys saw, they announced 12 electric vehicles or some stupid amount of electric vehicles for their future roadmap. So, yeah, BMW's getting into it. Do you think hybrid swaps will be viable in the future, like the 350Z on Speed Academy? Definitely. I think. So if you guys may not know this, so the ZF 8-speed transmission, the ZF 8HP, that's the transmission that exists in this car and exists in so many cars, tons of cars from every manufacturer. The 8 HP from ZF, it is actually built with the idea in mind for a electric motor unit to replace the torque converter, and so or at least be in that place. So basically, instead of motor transmission, it's motor electric motor unit and transmission. So ZF is still working on that technology, manufacturers are still working on that technology, but I think that could mean in the future a lot of really cool stuff in regards to hybridizing older cars. Meaning you have a ZF 8-speed transmission with a hybrid motor unit, adapter plate, you stick that on the back of a 2JZ, and all of a sudden you can program that to have hybridized power, meaning you can have it so that the motor is not outputting power and just the electric motor is outputting power, or they're both driving transmission. So I think hybrid stuff is definitely happening in the future. What are your plans aesthetically for the 2020 Supra? And then the next question from Mr. S Max is spoiler. I don't know if I'm super into the spoilers. I mean, you guys can see the like it's like I like the shape of this. I think it's a nice shape, but I don't really like a big wing. Like I don't know. It's I'm not super into it. So maybe a lip spoiler, maybe not. Not super sure. Um, Either way, Jackie has a really big swan neck wing. I don't mind swan neck wings, but I would need the arrow to match. Uh, I don't know. Right now, not super focused on tons of aesthetic stuff for the Supra. I just want to drive it. But we will get there. Power first. Power first. Then we'll move on to aesthetics and downforce and stuff like that. Yeah. Any other Japan trips planned? Man, I wish, man. We're stuck at home. So, yeah, I'd love to go to Japan again. When we were in Japan the first time, we were there for 4 days. 4 days. That includes the flying in and flying out. It was the most hectic trip to Japan. Shout out to Zayn and Mubashir. Like, it was one of the most epic trips of my lifetime. Like, going to Japan, just like, we just winged it. Like, we winged that whole trip. We booked the tickets 2 weeks in advance. Like, we were just like, we got the opportunity to go to Tokyo Motor Show, and we were just like, screw it, let's do it. So I want to go back to Japan. I want to spend like 2 weeks there. I want to really immerse myself in culture and the car scene and stuff like that. So no plans, but I will be going back sometime. Do you have advice for small YouTubers? Okay, this is great. I am by no means a big YouTuber, but certainly a little bit more established than other small YouTubers. Let me start off with this. If you want to start a YouTube channel, but you are sitting here thinking, dang it, there's so many people that do this, you know, is it too late? I think it's too late to start my channel. I should have done it before. You're wrong, okay? It is never, 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 never too late to start like a YouTube channel or any sort of online presence or something like that. Here's the beauty of the internet. Content is consumed at an extraordinary rate. So make what you want to make, but make it your own flavor, you know? Like, you don't have to be different, just be better. Or you don't have to be better, just be different. You kind of choose something. Like, if you want to start a car channel, start a car channel, man. Just don't copy someone else. Make it your own voice, and I think people will be attracted to that voice. You know, like, I watch tons of car channels, man, and like, you know, some stuff just speaks to me better than others. A lot of you guys watching now, you know, you're like, I really like your car stuff. I think it's very different from other people. But like, in the end, I'm just building cars, right? We're all building cars. Tavarish builds cars, and I don't know, all the other rebuild channels build cars, and Mighty Car Ones build cars. But in the end, it's like, I do things the way I like it, and you know, that's the secret sauce. People in the end will be like, hey, that way that you like it is the reason that I enjoy your content. Beyond that, for small YouTubers, be consistent. I know it's difficult. It's even difficult for me. You guys have seen, like, all my latest videos are getting very poor viewership. Contrary to popular belief, if you actually look at the stats, which I have, I've looked at the stats of all major car YouTubers, viewership is actually really down as of since the whole coronavirus thing started. For all the big channels too, TJ and Adam and Tavarish and all them. Tavarish is doing really well with truck stuff, so good on him. But viewership is actually down, so like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, I can get 2,000 views on a video, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still putting out a video that's still 2,000 people, man. That's a ton of people. 2,000 people, 100 people. That's like a whole. 100 people is like a whole freaking like auditorium, you know, like at a school. But like, you know, be consistent. Do stuff that's your own voice, and like, enjoy the process. You know, like, if you enjoy sharing what that thing is, I enjoy sharing these cars, man. Like, I really love it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And so that's my biggest, I guess, advice to you is just like, don't do it because you're like, I want to have 1 million subs and make all this. Hoodlums. anyways, don't do it because you want to have a million subs and all this money and all this fame and all this stupid stuff. Um, like, look, that's a whole different thing. Some people get that, and some people enjoy that, but that shouldn't be why you do it. You should do it because you love the process, and then just be consistent with it. Put out videos, love it, connect with your fans or your viewers, talk to them, see what they want, etc., etc. That's my advice. Sorry, I rambled a bit. Being a Toyota guy, what are your thoughts on 94 to 99 Sugga GT4s? Now that you never got them, another being imported. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, so a little while back on my Instagram, I talked about a new project. We're gonna start doing a new project. I was gonna be imported from Japan. So awesome, so cool. I was planning on importing a 94-95 Celica GT4, ST205 Celica GT4. But it didn't happen because coronavirus. Great, wonderful. It's still in the plans. Okay, I still am going to do it. I'm still going to bring a Celica GT4. I love them. One of the greatest cars, in my opinion, that Toyota ever made. So cool. 3.8 GTE, four-wheel drive, rally heritage. When Toyota was winning rallies, man. Toyota was winning rally 94 to 99. It's insane. But yeah, awesome cars. I think they're great. Yes. Okay. Do you prefer naturally aspirated or turbochargers? Naturally aspirated is awesome. I love NA response. Depends on the motor. Turbos are exciting, man. Turbo torque is so exciting. Put your foot down, and I prefer turbos. Okay, that's the answer. What is a mitochondria? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, so that's the answer to that. And so, what is your ideal car to race in the 24 hours of Le Mans? Ooh, that's a great question. Honestly, man, like if you can get like a cheap old Corolla or a Camry, I know I'm a Toyota guy, but like something Japanese and reliable. But I say Corolla and Camry because for $500, you're probably getting an auto trans. If you can get a manual trans, it's even better. But you might toast a clutch. Auto transes from Toyota were more reliable than auto transes from Honda in that era, and certainly better than Nissan. So yeah, probably some old Toyota, but like even a Civic or something. I'd get something reliable to try to win, or I'd just get something really awful, like a Citroen or something like that. Randy, HRE wheels. Great wheels. I can't afford them, but great wheels. What is your dream supercar that you want to buy? I think I mentioned before, LFA, Lexus LFA. Greatest car of all time. I would buy that over anything. Which chassis feels better, Mark IV or Mark V? Mark V by a mile, by 10 miles. The Mark V chassis is so much newer, so much stiffer, so much better. Every Mark IV feels like a wet noodle because most of them are target tops. Even the hard tops are a little bit like. Let's see. The stiffness on this car. I'm gonna say a weird number here, but is over 41,000 Newton meters per degree. Okay, and that means for every degree that you want to bend the chassis, the structure of that car, it requires over 41,000 Newton meters to bend it. That's the amount of force. So 41,000 Newton meters per degree. Mark V Supra. Mark IV Supra, 8,000 Newton meters per degree, roughly. I'm paraphrasing, but like this car is more than five times stiffer than a Mark IV Supra. So this chassis is just better by far and away. Without Albon, I wouldn't be a master driver. Yes, thank you, Mr. Randy. Do you have a Patreon or anything like that? I do have a Patreon. I just started a Patreon very recently. It's actually linked in the description. So feel free to if you guys want to join the Patreon, that'd be wonderful. It helps a lot because we're broke. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool perks with the Patreon. We're gonna be doing more live streams, Q&As, behind the scenes stuff, etc., etc. So if you guys want, link in the description. Check it out. Up to you. Randy, Mark V versus 8.6 BRZ chassis, which is better? Okay. 8.6 BRZ chassis, two things. Mark V, stiffer, more competent chassis by far and away. Definitely is more capable, will handle more power, etc., etc. 8.6 BRZ chassis, longer wheelbase, okay, more predictable handling, and better greenhouse. What does that mean? The actual area that you sit in is larger in an 8.6 BRZ. Even though the car is smaller, the area you sit in is larger and the visibility is better. Okay? What does that translate to? Certainly for drifting, visibility is actually a pretty significant. When you're sideways, you gotta look at this way, look at that way. So 8.6 BRZ, I think is, I think certainly, obviously it's cheaper. Definitely a better car for you guys to get into. 8.6 BRZs are cheap, man. 12 grand, you can pick up an FRS, 2013 FRS. A little bit tired, a little bit beat up. They're all a little bit beat up. They're like S chassis, but they're still good cars. They're reliable. They're fun to drive. There's tons of mods. You can drift them. You can track them. You can do anything. So, personally, I would say get an 8.6 or BRZ if you're interested. As far as which is a more competent chassis, this one, Mark V. It's a good chassis, man. It's a really good chassis. Do you think there'd be a market if a coach builder wanted to build Supras to look like the FT1 by Mr. It says Baron, but that's it's a Zarin technically. It's Zarin in German. Anyways, okay, so there's a company that is building an FT1 body kit for this car. I think they're charging like 8,000 euros for it. What is that? $10,000, $11,000, something like that. It's not real yet. It's just a render, and they're supposedly manufacturing it. Look, man, looks cool. It's impractical, man. The FT1 body was massive. I don't know if you guys have seen an FT1. If you guys have been up close to an FT1 in a car show, it's huge. It wouldn't fit in this garage, man. Like it would be like, it's like this much wider. Well, not at the door, but like it's like this much wider. Like so much longer. So it's cool. It looked cool. It's not a practical car. I think, is there a market for one? Absolutely not. Nobody cares about the FT1 enough. People just make a hubbub on the internet. Nobody would pay that much money. This car is not worth $100,000. So it is worth $50,000, $60,000. Do a 2JZ swap on a 99 Corolla. That would be insane. That would be insane. I wouldn't, because that'd be wild. Junsun Kim. Okay, how much have you spent rebuilding your Mark V Supra so far? Great question. So, roughly, I'm at about $6,000 in parts. Yeah, so $6,000 in parts. Obviously, it's been a lot of time getting all these parts and stuff, but $6,000, a lot of big dollar number of parts. The hood. This was, I got it for a good discount, but $1,200-$1,400. The headlight, $1,800. A lot of big ticket items that kind of screw that up. Airbags and stuff ended up costing maybe $1,200 total, $400 each, somewhere around there. And there's a lot of sensors and small things like that. But about $6,000 total, roughly. And body work, which will be paint, and then getting this fixed. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be about $3 grand. So $6 grand plus $3 grand, $9 grand to fix the car. Not bad, not bad. Do you like shooting brake wagon conversions? Yeah, I think they're super cool. I think the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso or the FF before it were some of the coolest looking cars. I don't know if the conversions are super practical. I know there's like a Model S shooting brake conversion and stuff. I don't think anyone wants one, but I think they're cool. I just wouldn't pay money for it. Can you come hiking with me? By Karthik. Karthik, you are in Austin, Texas. It's far, man. I have to hike quite a ways to get there, but I would love to. Hiking sounds like fun as long as there's no people. What about your friend Zan? What is he up to? Seems like a pretty cool chap. Where's he at? I don't see him. No, I'm just being salty. Zan is locked up in his house as he should be. He is a cool chap. He is in a hyperbolic time chamber training. So, sorry, Bessa, cheeky question. What's your day job? These builds can't be cheap. Are you sponsored? Sponsorships, none. Nobody wants to sponsor us. If you do want sponsors, it'd be great. We have no sponsors. Day job, film production. Wasn't a hedge fund for a while. I also trade forex and stocks and cryptocurrency by myself, and then make YouTube videos. Gets me some amount of money. I don't make very much money. Pretty much all of it goes into this. So it is what it is. If this is what you like doing, this is what I like doing. I spend all my money on it. Also, don't, not married or anything, so I don't know. E46 M3 versus 350 370Z. That's a good question. Love E46 M3s. Fun cars. They sound like fart cans. Just sound like butt, man. They sound awful. Those motors are ugly sounding cars. Some people love it, but I really don't like them. 350Zs, 370Zs, wonderful sounding cars. E46 M3s, I don't know if you guys know this, but E46 M3s were all plagued with this horrendous issue where the rear subframe would break off of the chassis. Like it would stress and then it would break off. So you have to get these plates welded in to reinforce the subframe. They all have this horrendous fatal flaw. 350Z, 370Zs, their only fatal flaw is that they're about as old as dinosaurs, and they're kind of fat and rubbery and stuff. But E46 M3s are kind of going up. They are going up in value now. 350Zs are bottomed. 370s are still coming down because they're still selling them for some reason. 350Z, if you want to get a cheap Japanese sports car that's pretty good, that you can mod, you can't mod VQs a ton, but you can do stuff to them. Get a 350Z. They're cheap, man. You can go drift them. You can go do whatever you want with them. They're competent cars. They come with healthy motors, decent transmissions. The CD009s are certainly really good transmissions. So if I was to pick between them, if you're cheap, if you want a sports car, get a 350Z. Which is a better car? E46 M3. So, but, it costs money. Wait, this isn't OnlyFans. Yeah, link to the OnlyFans in the description below. No, I'm just kidding. What is the best engine to cook my chicken wings on? Okay, so I've done this before. If you take your chicken wings and wrap them in foil on LS motors, so specifically my Suburban has a LM7, LQ4, I don't remember, one of those weird iron block ones. Right on the valve cover, there's like where the fuel lines are and stuff for the fuel rail. There's a nice little pocket that you can put, like if you take like 2 chicken wings, you put them like this, like in a line, and then 2, 2, 2, and you wrap them in a long piece of foil. You can set it on the fuel rail. It's real close to the header. So you got a good radiant heat. It's like a solid, it's a good, 325. You keep it in there for a while, it'll slow cook. So if you want to cook chicken wings, LS motor, great place, right there on top of the head. They won't go anywhere. How much did I pay for my Supra? Quite a lot of money, actually. It was a bit too much money, but it was the first of its kind. Now you can get them for nothing. But the going rate for crash Supras, depending on the crash, is in the 20s, mid-20s, low 20s to mid-20s, which is cheap, man. It's not a ton of money for a really good car. You spend 6-10 grand fixing them, and you have a fantastic car for 30-40 grand. Right now, with the whole virus thing going on, there are some Supras selling for under 20 grand crashed. That are not crashed that bad, that maybe require an extra 2 grand worth of work. There was one that just sold for 16 grand, the gray one that I posted on my story a little while ago. So, it's Mark V Supras are going for cheap if you want to pick up a crashed one. Boosted 350Z is okay sounding. Generally, people modding exhaust have evolved onto fart can ricers. You're absolutely right, Elias. 350Zs, a lot of them sound like butt. Stock G35s and G37s had some wacky exhaust header design. They sounded awesome. G's sounded really good. Factory, they sounded great. What was the car that decided to fly by? I don't know. I couldn't see it. It was back there. And yes, it is indeed red. Yes, thank you. I know that because I know how to say scheitze, because it's a bad word. And so, and I know it has the little thingy. B, but not the B. It's what about modding and ILSEP? Oh, Ice 300. Ice 300s. They're wonderful cars. Oh, Jay Philly, what's up? Jay Philly, you missed your Ice 300. You had awesome, man. Yours was so clean. It was red and it had the freaking like little watch dials. Ice 300s are awesome. Little tiny Supra sedans, I guess. The chassis were okay, but you know, like it is what it is. Beam swap, but yeah, I would love an IS 300, but I got a lot of cars on the list of that. Beam swap on an A101 Corolla wagon. That sounds sick, man. Mad front wheel drive, 20 valve. Yeah, man, those are cool. I'd get an A86 before I got an A101, but you know, it is what it is. A86, excuse me. I think I slept on cars at E85 Z4. I think you are 100% right. Now, the E85 Z4 is a flawed car, certainly. But still a lot of fun to drive. They're going for, I don't think they go for that much money. The only trouble is like, it was like they weren't super moddable. People didn't make a ton of parts for them. But I think they're quite handsome cars. I've seen a lot that like look really cool in Atacama yellow and stuff like that, like the yellow that comes on the Supra and stuff. E85 Z4 and then you know later stuff, very cool stuff. Cooking chicken wings on an engine, you've done that. Maybe you should start a video series or car stories. Like that'd be interesting. Car stories. I mean, Ed Bullion does that, but like yeah, maybe like car stories for normal people. Yeah, I got a lot of stories, man. Did a lot of dumb stuff back in the days. People in this chat right now that have done dumb stuff with me back in college and even beyond that. So, cooking. Hey, man, where'd you learn to trade Forex? Would love to learn. The internet, pretty much. Just taught myself. Worked in a hedge fund for a while. Wasn't a Forex hedge fund. It was a cryptocurrency hedge fund. That was the thing. It still is a thing. Forex, I'm telling you, just go on YouTube. There's so many resources. There's a lot of good traders. I don't want to name traders by name because, you know, it's a wacky world out there. But seriously, just learn technical analysis, learn fundamental analysis. Try not to have biases. It's a great time to trade. Certainly with Brexit, back when Brexit was a big thing. Was awesome trading the pound against so many other pairs, a lot of money to be made. But yeah, just try it, you know, get a paper trading account, look up videos, again, learn technical analysis, and go from there. Yeah. Truth Tonight, do Subaru tuners scare you? What do you mean? Like the people who tune them? Or do people who have tuned Subarus? I mean, like, no. They're all cool people, man. Like, I know a lot of great people that work on Subies, and so, but yeah. Let's see. What are the best? Oh, okay. Everyone in the chat, tell me right now what your favorite Fast and Furious movie is. Okay. So my favorite Fast and Furious movie is Too Fast, Too Furious. Now, I know. A lot of people are going to be like, okay, Too Fast, Too Furious was the worst. It was an awful, awful film. That is not true. There's a lot of terrible, terrible films. I'm seeing some good stuff, Tokyo Drift, etc., etc. Yeah, so if I was going to rank it, I'd say Too Fast, Too Furious is the top. Okay, just because that movie was so stupid. It was so silly. Me and my friends loved it, you know, and like we quote that one the most. So for me, Too Fast, Too Furious, number one. Okay, next one, first one, Fast and Furious. You know, the first Fast and Furious. So the original. Number three, Tokyo Drift. And then from there, I'd say number five, then number four, and then the rest garbage. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the eighth one or ninth one or whatever. I think I stopped at 7. They just got too ridiculous for me. Rest in peace, Paul Walker, etc., etc. But yeah, thank you, Jake. Tokyo Drift. Yeah, a lot of people love Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift is honestly like it was a weird movie because it was like totally totally disconnected, but it was directed by one of the better directors of the series, and then it was very cool. I think because of the Japanese culture that came into it, I think that certainly rebooted the whole franchise. So yeah, going back, demonetized. Yes. Thoughts on the Z4M? Z4M, if you mean a new Z4M, I don't think they're going to make one. If you mean the old Z4M, like Z4M Coupe, the Z3 M Coupe, the Kanchu, very cool. Z4M Coupe, good cars, flawed cars certainly. Again, slept on cars though, underrated cars. So, but yeah, so you got Ulta box in the background. What did you get? Just some concealer. That's a joke. I don't wear makeup. I have awful skin. Tokyo Drift, Tokyo Drift, Tokyo Drift. Too Fast, Too Furious. Look, I know, but it holds a special place in my heart. Look, the pockets ain't empty cuz is like my favorite line. You know, I think it was one of the greatest things ever. Um, D. What else we got? What are we planning for the Supra? Performance wise, what are your goals for horsepower? Supra performance wise, right now, probably just a downpipe and a tune, and then what else? That's about it, man. Like maybe an intake or something for now, because downpipe and tune makes like 500 horsepower, man. That's a ton of horsepower. I don't need any more than that. Eventually, I might try to die and do a big, turbo and all that stuff. But we'll see. Let's see what else. Naveed. Oh, Naveed, dude. I got in touch with the admin about your thingy. I don't know what happened with that. So I'll ping the admin again. I don't have power to restore accounts and stuff on the forums. I'm just the moderator, meaning I can just like tell people to stop fighting. Like I don't have much power on the forum. So yeah, unfortunately that's just how it is. RX-8 or Miata? Okay. I think RX-8s are slept on. I think they're great chassis. The Renesis motor, it's got problems, but they're not bad. Obviously the REW motor 13Bs are significantly better in the sense that they're boosted. You can do a lot of stuff with them. Miata, okay. Miatas are awesome. The NCs are cheap because no one liked them. They're kind of fat and they look like boats. They're still very light and nimble cars, but I think I would pick an RX-8. Yeah, I'd pick an RX-8 because rotaries. Rotaries are the best. Tuned SCIs. Have you ever smoked a Subi? Also, your car looks great. Thank you. Subis, I don't really street race anyone. Subis are fast, man. They're great. Tuned STIs are awesome. I think a lot of people go too far on STIs because EJs you can make power, but I think an STI making 350 wheel is such a nice car to drive. I think a lot of people forget about that, and so STIs have always been like pretty good, and so people kind of sleep on them now because of that. But wait till the new STI comes out with the FA24. Y'all gonna flip, man. The car's gonna be good. What's your favorite quote from Tokyo Drift? Tokyo Drift. When Lil Bow Wow says I could sell rubbers to a preacher or something like that, and that was a hilarious line. I could sell rubbers to a priest. That's what it was. That guy was wild. Any plans for an engine build series like you did for the Mark IV? Okay, so I guess depends on the Mark IV Supra. I think we will get a little bit more in depth because obviously we still need to tune the car and stuff. So again, Mark IV Supra, I'm gonna work on it soon when lockdown's over and I can go back to Chicago and get that car going and get it tuned and stuff. But for now, obviously I'm a little stuck, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll try to be a little more in depth with that. I know like my videos now, I'm actually curious what you guys think about this. My videos now are a little bit less in depth. They kind of flow more, right? You guys know I put the nice music in and we move very quickly through the builds and stuff. But do you guys want to see me more meticulous and specific? Like this goes here, this bolt goes here, this part does this does this. It'll make the videos longer and wordier and lengthier. But or are you guys okay with how I make the videos, which is they flow very well. I stop and talk when I need to, but otherwise the stuff just gets thrown on, you know, like and the music and the flow and stuff like that. So you guys let me know if you guys want more technical stuff or more how I do it, which is like wow. What else? Have you seen Frederick Osbo's new Supra drift car? If you have, what's your opinion about it? Thank you, Mr. C4Fu. C4FU. Okay. Yes. So I've been following Papadakis' build on that car. Stefan Papadakis, wonderful guy. I've met him a few times. Me and him chit chat a little bit online. I've talked to him about the build. Him and I have had long conversations about the B58, the internals of the B58, his thoughts on the motor and the internals of it. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Stefan, love you, man. Like, you know, I hope we get to do tons of stuff in the future together. But Frederick Osbo's car, Osbo's a really good driver, obviously. He's won plenty of stuff. He's fast. He was doing very well in the Corolla. The Supra will be a big transition for him because the wheelbase different. He's no longer using the 2AR motor. Power band is going to be different, even though they're trying to make it the same. So I think the platform's awesome. I think if anyone can build the Supra into a fantastic track car, or in this case drift car, it's going to be Stefan. Very knowledgeable guy and his team. So I love it. I can't wait for them to start practicing with it. And I think it's going to be one of the coolest cars in FD. Whenever FD does start, because if you guys know, Long Beach was supposed to be a couple days ago, and it wasn't. This is the world we live in. Thomas, went on a date and got an STI. I hope you went to a Subaru dealership to get that one. Wait, what wheels and tires are behind you? Great question. These are, these are Continental Conti Sport Contact 6s in 255, 35, 19. And those are matching Continentals in 275, 35, 19. These are the replacement tires for these wheels, the stock factory wheels. I just bought them. It's because these wheels and tires are trash. Like Jackie destroyed them on track, so they're not particularly safe to drive on. So these are just replacement tires for these wheels. Jake, I don't care if you're sick as a dog or in bed with Beyonce. I call, you show, Han, beautiful, love Han, Sun Kang, what a guy. They're bringing him back. Does it make sense? No, but he's driving a Supra. Maybe I'll watch number 9. So, yeah. The whole movie is good. It's so good. Can you put song names in the videos, please? Okay. Thomas, yes, I will for you. Keep in mind, I use a service called Epidemic Sound, which is a creator's music service that I pay for. So the songs aren't like widely available songs. They're on this database that I license through. So, but I'll put them on. I mean, it's fine. It's not too big of a deal. But yeah, they're just not like always songs. You can always go keep the same length, but make the videos technical so you can spread out the content over a few more episodes. Yeah, I guess I could do that. It's just like, it's tough, man. Like, what do people like to watch? And like, obviously you guys maybe are more technical, the regular people, not so much. Who knows? I'll see. I'll try it out. I'll try being a little more technical and I'll see how the videos fare. Anything new on the new manual A90? Okay, so, sorry, my back hurts a little. Okay, so there has been a lot of conversation with Tada-san about the manual A90. Sorry, somebody's mowing their lawn. Tada-san is considering it more now than he was before. So let me just say that. A lot of people, myself included, and some of my peers, have really been like, listen, man, like, if you can make it happen, please just try to make it happen. So manual A90, there's more of a chance of it happening now than there was like 6 months ago. Let me just say that. Is it going to happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. So, what's the wackiest engine car you know of? That JZ V12 that some guy was building was like two 1Js in a V formation with like a joint at the crank. That's a wacky car, but I don't even think that really runs. So, opinion of a Mark IV with a Toyota Century V12 swapped in. So you're thinking of the Smoky Nagata top secret Supra. Interesting car. The way they made that car run was hilarious. They had two ECUs, one for each bank, because they didn't have anything that could control 12 cylinders at the time. And not only that, but it was using two like piggybacks. So I don't remember. Was it an Apexi? Apexi, one of those power, whatever they're called, Apexi Power thingy Commander, Apexi Power Commander, whatever. There's two of them. It was silly. It was stupid. As Jake mentioned, heavy. Pointless because JZs can make as much power as you want, but cool. But cool. So I won't hate him on the cool factor. Sorry, the worst camera I've ever seen. Sorry, I'm not naked, but maybe that's for the best. Manny, yes, you are late. Naveed, yeah, exactly, the V12. It's a weird car, but I like it. RCF versus Mark V Supra, which is better? Okay, let me go on a little rant here. That's all I've been doing. I should just change the title of this to me ranting about stupid shit. A lot of people complained when the Mark V Supra was coming out because of the BMW heritage, okay? But then they went so far as to say that the LC500 should have been the Supra. The GS should have been not the GS, the RC should have been the Supra. This should have been the Supra, that should have been the Supra, okay? If you guys have driven an RCF, it is a absolute hodgepodge, an awful hodgepodge of cars. It is half IS convertible, half GS. It is just terrible. It is not dynamic. It is kind of fun to drive because it has a cool motor, but it is not a good car. The Mark V Supra is by far and away 1,000,000,000 times % better than that car. Okay? Yes, it is far more BMW than that car, but it is a better chassis. It has a better, more tunable motor. It uses BMW electronics, which you guys may say sucks, but guess what? Lexus ECUs, the Denso ECUs that Toyota uses in their Lexus and Toyota cars are impossible to decrypt. They're so difficult to tune. So that's a problem. Having a BMW ECU, much better. Anyways, I'm ranting. Okay, I know another car that uses two ECUs also. What car would you be talking about there? A90 is great. RC is Porker, you're absolutely right. The ZNS. Oh, boxers and briefs. Briefs kind of guy, right? What? Hate me. I'm a briefs kind of guy. Okay. What's your opinion on the V12 Audi Q7? Oh, dude, the Audi Q7. Was it a V12 or was it a V10? I don't remember. V10 too yet. Everyone's mowing their lawn today. God damn it. All right, guys, we're closing the garage. Give me 2 seconds. All right, things are much more dramatic now. You can see me? Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to move this. I'm going to turn this down, actually. Let's do that. Okay. All right. Sorry, this is just so the sound is less lawn mowing. Oh, right. The Quadrifoglio has 2 ECUs. What a wacky car. Love that car. Such a wonderful driving car. Yes, GS in the front end, ICE convertible in the midsection, last gen ICE in the back. Stupid car. I'd love to drive it. Favorite Supra build, if you're talking about a Mark V, probably Ibrahim Canoe, E-Canoe. His car looks so cool. But, yeah. Oh yeah, and the V. So they made a V12 and a V10 Q7. I think those are cool, man. I like the weird diesel stuff. I like diesels. Diesels are sweet. Um, I would rock. I would not rock an Audi V10 or V12 because that was stupid. But that'd be terrible. Why does Toyota make their ECU so hard to tune? Is it on purpose or is it just a byproduct of the goals they're trying to achieve? Okay, so that's a good question. I'm not a software engineer, so I don't know the answer to that question necessarily. Here's the thing. If you look at, well, homework for you, go look at the some ECU research and decrypting stuff on the new Lexus LS 500 V6. It's called the V35A FTS. It uses some insane mapping. I'm talking 4-dimensional tables on so many different parameters. It is so horrendously complex to even understand. Like, I'm not a tuner. I would not want to tune that car. So Toyota and Lexus, inherently, I don't know on the decryption side why it's so complex, but on the tuning side, it is very complicated. The way they tune these cars is insane. It's not as simple as more ignition timing, more boost, more fuel, more this, more that. It is so very complex because they're meeting emission standards, they're creating drivability, smoothness at every single load cell. You know, like the car needs to drive extremely well in like you're going up a 90% grade and like you're at 20% throttle and then you mat it and every single thing has to be taken into account for. That's why the Lexus LS 500 has the smoothest engine you'll probably ever drive. But it's a complex question with an even more complex answer. It also just sucks. It took our tuning 8 years to figure out the first generation ISF, or the only generation ISF. So, okay, sorry guys. What would you recommend for a daily for someone in Michigan? No Subarus, too easy. Good question. In Michigan, you have terrible roads, you have snow and salt, and generally somewhat insane drivers. As a daily, if we're talking like a new car, not an 8.6 because that's too easy too. What's fun, man? I wish they made a Mazda Speed 3. I would say Mazda 3. Mazda 3 all-wheel drive or a Mazda Speed 3. Those are so cool. I think they're wonderful cars. But I don't know. It'd be something in that category. The new Corolla leaves something to be desired. The XSE hatch. Fun car to drive. 6-speed manual. A lot of fun. Again, leaves a lot to be desired. If the GR Corolla existed, that would be my answer. The GR Corolla. All-wheel drive, turbocharged, inline 3, hatchback. That would be the thing to get. I don't want to say Golf GTI because I haven't driven them and I know they're good. But anyways, that's my answer. GR Corolla doesn't exist. Sorry. Favorite car, favorite streaming car show? I have no idea. I don't watch much television. I know this is stupid. I know a bit of a contradiction. I don't watch many movies or many TV other than like very specific stuff. So I don't know. Favorite YouTuber for car content? Tom's Turbo Garage. Tom's Turbo Garage. He doesn't put out many videos, but if you have not seen Tom's Turbo Garage builds, his LS Miata build, his LS Tacoma build, his Grand National build, his Turbo Miata build, watch them. They are inspirational. Amazing. Truly magnificent. Any chance of the Mark V Supra being produced in the Motomachi plant? No, not at all. This car will be produced in Austria until it dies. V6, inline 6, or boxer 6-cylinder engine. If I'm going to rank them, inline 6, flat 6, boxer 6, and then V6. Not a huge fan of V6s, but they are fantastic for space. That's why V6s exist. Space-wise, they take up the least amount of space. They're very compact. Inline 6s, too long. Flat 6s, too wide and too long. Flat 6s, very interesting torque because generally they are quite long stroke and can have quite large bores as well. see the EZ36 from Subaru or any of Porsche's 3.8 liter motors, 4-liter motors. Really, really cool motors, very smooth, amazing sound. They make that fabric tearing sound. Inline sixes, smooth as butter. Packaging wise, you can throw turbos on them. In this case, slant six. In the case of a 2JZ, straight up and down inline six, but inline six first, then flat six. I don't like V6s. Sorry. Best car racing game you play? I don't play very many video games either. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm like a bit boring. I don't really play stuff. When I did play video games, Dirt was fun. Forza Horizon was fun, but I haven't played that. I haven't played video games in a long time, man. Any future car project you have in mind? So I want to do something very cool to the Mark IV Supra, which I will talk about maybe in this stream, maybe later. Other than that, I want to do a Celica GT4. I mentioned that earlier, but I'm having trouble. I was going to initially import one from Japan, but with this whole quarantine thing, I cannot. So maybe after quarantine, I will try to import a Celica GT4 from Japan and do a build on that. Why not Toyota 4x4 project, 4Runner Tacoma? That's a good question, man. I need a truck. I got a Suburban, and I don't want to get rid of it because it's a good car and they're not worth very much. I think that's why. It's a practicality thing. I don't have a ton of money. But I would love to do a 4Runner or a Taco, something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun, like a pre-runner type build. What are your thoughts on the Camry and Avalon TRD? Okay, this is interesting. Thank you for asking. Randy, you got some great questions today. Me and Zane actually went to Texas Motor Speedway and like did autocrosses and track days with the Camry and Avalon TRD. Like Toyota invited us out. We did a whole thing. And we never made a video about it. That's on me, man. Like I should have made a video about it, but it was just too random. I intend on putting that footage into my like history of TRD, or maybe another video talking about TRD. But here's my opinion on it. They're fun. They're actually quite fun to drive. And for one main reason, it's the suspension change. Camrys and Avalons both are generally very understeery, right? They have to be. They're front wheel drive, big sedans. They're made for soccer moms and old, regular old people to drive. The Camry and Avalon TRD, the front spring rates are largely the same. The rear spring rates are 50% stiffer. Now, what does that do? Inherently, what that does is it makes the rear want to rotate a little bit more. The car has gone from being very understeery to quite neutral. Not super neutral, definitely not oversteery, but they are significantly more fun to drive than any other Camry or Avalon. If you are in the market for a Camry or an Avalon, and you can, for the Camry, the TRD is the cheapest way into a V6. I recommend it wholeheartedly. I recommend it. I think it's a fantastic car. For the Avalon, I know it's a bit pricey, but I think they're cool cars, definitely. Jake, Toyota can't keep the Camry TRDs in stock. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. There's not that many of them. It's the cheapest way into a V6, and the V6 is quality motor. Which aftermarket companies do you think will not survive coronavirus? RIP AccuAir. Yes, RIP AccuAir. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about the inner workings of these businesses. Small businesses obviously are hit the most. People who can't operate because they have to furlough their employees and, et cetera, or like half the furloughed employees. I don't know, it's hard to say. Small businesses, definitely. Obviously, the bigger corporations are going to be tough. Like, Turn 14 distribution is not going anywhere, but in this case, AccuAir certainly did. We'll see what happens, man. I hope that, like, we don't lose too many companies because it's, it's not a good thing, but, we'll see. Avalon looks sick, but there's no performance benefit. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, it still has the suspension changes. The dampers are different as well. The brakes, if I remember correctly, are the same. And then it's got the wheels, and they have all-season tires on them, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a huge difference. They just look cool, so. Oh my, I'm behind. Sorry, guys. Can I be in a video? Can you come home? Chicago. Manny, I would love for you to be in every video I make for the rest of my life. And I'll come to Chicago soon. I drove an LX 570, the pretty pepper. Yeah, man, it's a nice V8. Demuro shot on the Avalon Tyranny recently. I don't agree with a lot of Doug's opinions. Like, I'm sorry to say, like Doug, I love you. Like, I've spoken to him before. He's a lovely guy. I think he looks at different things in cars than I do. I think about driving dynamics first and foremost. I don't think about quirks and features. So sorry, Doug. Um, but yeah, if Toyota makes an manual for the A90, do you think it'll be good as the Mark IV six-speed being made by BMW and all? That's a good question. I don't. So the current, so the transmission that's in a lot of BMWs is called the ZF GS6. Now, just like the automatic ZF 8HP, there's a number afterwards that denotes the torque rating. The ZF GS6 in, for example, an M140i is a GS645. And I'm getting very technical here. That means it's rated to 450 newton meters of torque, which is not an exact number. They usually can handle much more than that. But as far as I know, people who are making big power in M3s and M4s with manual transmissions are not blowing them up. So I would imagine that the transmission, that if a Supra manual happens, it would be a ZF GS6 51 or 60 or something like that. I think it would be a pretty strong transmission. So we'll see. I think it won't be V160. The V160 was a magical transmission in magical transmission land. That's why they cost $15,000 now. Will it hold the torque? I hope so. I don't know. I'd say that there's a good chance that they'll be all right. Let's see. You remember Tom's Viet Miata build from years ago? Tom's Turbo Garage. Again, Tom's Turbo Garage, Bad Obsession Motorsports. I'm sure you guys have heard of these channels before, but Bad Obsession Motorsports Project Binky. If you haven't heard of it, go watch it right now. They have like 34 parts. They're still working on it. It's been like 5 years. It's great. If you could import a Fiat Multipla for cheap, would you? If I had so much money that I could get a Fiat Multipla, and actually, yeah, I would. They look so stupid that I think people would love them here. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun car. Thoughts on EJ25 in the STI? Okay. If you mean the current EJ25, okay, the EJ25 was first introduced, you guys let me know, probably 98 or something like that in its first form. It is an old motor, so old, it is ancient. They've done plenty to update it over the years, but the EJ is dead. God bless, long live the EJ, whatever. The FA that will be in the next generation STI is by far and away a better motor in every regard. I know it's not out yet, but it is so much more technologically advanced. Direct injection being the biggest name on that, and then just head technology and the block technology. I'm glad the EJ is dead. It has served us well. They make good power. They had their fair share of issues. Hashtag breaking lands, but I'm glad it's dead. Carl, I'm here for live super wrenching. Dude, I haven't done any wrenching, man. Like, I don't even want to start because it's like, then I can't read the chat, and, it's, what's your favorite racing driving series to watch? Okay, World Endurance, meaning like LMP type cars, so LMP1, LMP2, and then of course touring cars, probably my favorite. Favorite to watch, Formula Drift. It is the most entertaining to watch. Here's the thing, when Formula Drift comes back, you can always find all the live streams online, Formula Drift streams, everything. It's a lot of fun to watch. If Formula Drift comes to a city near you, which they do here in Texas, they come to Texas Motor Speedway in Dallas, go watch it, man. It's not that expensive. It's a lot of fun, man. Formula Drift is probably the most entertaining to watch. After that, World Endurance, because I love World Endurance. I think touring cars and LMP cars represent technology that is the peak of racing, not including Formula One. Formula One is fun too, but it's number 3 for me. And then rally is obviously up there, but like it's hard to find good rally content because everything happens in Europe and stuff like that. But rally is awesome to watch, but I don't watch it much. Formula Drift is probably the favorite. Thoughts on the 6-cylinder Subarus? Subaru They're not making the six cylinders really anymore because they're all downsizing to the 2.4 liter turbos, but really good motors. Um, the EZ36 torque monster. I wish people would do more with them, but they don't. Where's the Mark IV Supra? It is in Chicago. I'm in Texas. Quarantine has separated us. Sabi. You should check out Big Numped channel for super content. They have a cool build and they race around the Nordschleife. Okay, I will. That sounds very cool. What do you think of the new Camry all-wheel drive? Very cool. I'm glad that Toyota has incorporated. This was the plan from the beginning. Toyota made TNGA, Toyota's new global architecture, which all their cars are based off of. All-wheel drive was always in the plan there. They made a Prius all-wheel drive, now Camry all-wheel drive. I think it's great. I think they will sell like hotcakes. Toyota's going to make a ton of money. They got Scrooge McDuck and their gold coins. So, is the GR Yaris worth the buy? If you live in the UK and you have access to a GR Yaris and you don't buy it, you are a damn fool. You understand? It's the coolest car that is made on this earth right now. So, yes, it is worth the buy. Worth the buy. Reverse engineered, love the Supra. Thanks, man. Where are you guys located? Right now, we are in sunny Dallas, Texas. It's not sunny right now because people were mowing their lawns. It is sunny. Close the garage. Anyways, yes, based off, yes, Naveed, yes, absolutely. It's based off the World Rally all-wheel drive system, chassis. GR Yaris is such a good car. Paint the car a different color. Yeah, man, it will be a different color eventually. I'm thinking some type of blue. We'll see. Haven't totally decided, but you know, that's how it is. When are you finishing the Supra? I have 1 or 2 videos right now that I'm working on. I mean, it's all together. I've actually been driving it around. It's registered. I have license plates for the car. I've been driving it around. I've put like 600-800 miles on it. So, from here, all the parts are in Chicago. I know I've been saying this. It sucks. A lot of the parts are in Chicago to finish off the car until we do body work. So until then, I will do maybe a downpipe install, show you guys how to tune the car, maybe some 0 to 60 type stuff. FD was crazy to see in person. Yeah, man, that FD is sick. Richard's FD, such a cool car, man. Durat. Oh, you're down in South Africa. Nice. Yeah, the people do love their Volkswagens there. I would hope so, man. They're not making very many GR Yaris's, so I don't know if it'll kill the GTI per se, but do you consider LS swaps on rotary cars a sin? Yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because, okay, look. I know people love how the FDRX7 looks. It's a very beautiful car. But the rotary engine is a beautiful engine, too. Everyone's like, oh, it's unreliable. It's different. That's all it is. Like, look, I get it. I'm not going to knock on anyone who wants to put a JZ or an LS into anything, right? But the thing is, there weren't that many FDs in the United States, okay? The motors themselves are great, right? If you live in Puerto Rico, okay, if you put anything else in your RX-7, people would think you're an idiot because they know how to tune them over there. Over here, it's just, the people know how to tune them here, but it's less so. Keep your rotaries in your RX-7s, man. They're good motors. They sound amazing. They feel amazing. Everything about them is amazing. Keep your LSs in your Camaros, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. What's the best and worst part of the Mark V Supra? Okay, it's a great question. Best part, best part's definitely the chassis. It's a very fun car to drive. It's very responsive. It's very predictable. It's tuned quite well, the chassis itself, including the stock suspension. It's a little soft, but it's a very good GT car. Cruising, fun car. Back roads, fun car. The motor as well, great. Stout. The drivetrain in general. The worst part about the car is a little bit complicated, I guess, to work on. It's not that bad, but there's a lot of stupid BMW things. So here's the thing. Like, for example, putting the window on, special tool, this and that special tool, a lot of special tools. The stupidest things are just the stuff that makes it harder for regular people to work on, which exists a lot in BMW, less so in Toyota. But I think that's the worst part about the car. But it's not a very small thing considering the rest of the car is so good. So drivetrain wise, it is very, very good. Does anyone have a Heritage Edition body kit on the Mark V yet? No, I don't think so. Nobody. I don't think they sell it yet, if they will sell it. So it is what it is. I would like to see it, but I want those taillights, man. I'm gonna ask Toyota to see if they got any of those prototypes lying around. How does this Supra drive compared to the press cars you drove? That is a good question. That is a fantastic question. Now, a lot of people speculate that press cars are a little bit hotted up, make a little bit more horsepower, a little more jam than regular cars. I have driven 3 Supra press cars, 2020 Supra press cars, 2 in Virginia, 1 here in Texas, and then I have driven my personal part. I can safely say that none of them made more power than the other. They all felt the same, power-wise. So the only thing is the Supra press car that I drove, the white one that I drove here in Texas, was on Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. It was not on the traditional Pilot Super Sport tires. So it was on a much stickier tire, and it felt awesome. Now, I knew this going in. This is Toyota HQ's press car that they keep around here. So they just threw Cup 2s on it because they're easy to get, and they wanted to put Cup 2s on it. So that's the only thing. But they're all the same. Let me say this. Today is Friday. On Monday, here's a little surprise for you guys. On Monday, I will be receiving a 2021 Supra press car. If you guys have any questions for me about that car, feel free to let me know now, and I will cover those questions in my upcoming review. I'm getting a 2021 3-liter, meaning the 3-liter inline 6, the new updated 3-liter B58. I will be receiving that on Monday. I will have that car until Friday. Okay, so either DM me on Instagram, send it to me here, shoot me an email, send me a letter, carrier pigeon. I don't care. Send me what you want to know about the new 3-liter. I can't tell you driving impressions. I can't tell you pricing. I can't tell you fuel economy. Okay, until like June or something. It was a while. Anything else you want to know about the car? What does it look like? What kind of, exactly, like, for example, Denzel's asking what kind of turbo setup does it have, sequential twin, whatever. It's going to be a single turbo, but I'll show you the manifold and stuff like that. Anyways, Friday, meaning a week from now, I will be returning the 3-liter Supra, and I will be receiving a 2-liter inline 4 turbo Supra. That will be for another 5 days. Questions you want about that car? I know you guys are probably more interested in that car than the 3-liter. But anyways, let me know what you guys want to hear about that car, because I'm going to have them for a week. I will post about it on Instagram. I will let you guys know. Yeah. B58 versus N55, which is better? B58 by far and away. Why? Clean sheet block design. Totally different, not related to the N-Series, S-Series motors. But the old S-Series motors, the N-Series motors. Closed deck block. New cooling system, got rid of the electric cooling pump and used a mechanical cooling system for cooling the turbo, etc., etc. Better head design, better block design, obviously, and then better oil pan design. The N55s had their little magnesium oil pan issues and stuff like that. B58, better motor. Updated Vanos design, higher pressure, high pressure fuel pump system, meaning the direct injection system, more capacity. I could go on. B58. Far better. Angel Motorsports 297s, I don't know them, but I'm sure they do. Do you think the 2JZ is the best engine of all time? That's a good question. No. What is the best engine of all time? I don't know. 1LRG UE. I know it's a stupid LFA. I think that's a cooler engine. I think it's a more technologically magnificent engine. not practical. None of us have ever driven one. None of us will ever drive one. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed. If you have an LFA or know someone with an LFA, please get in touch with me because I want to drive it. I think 2JZ is a fantastic engine, and it is up there. Sorry, I'm behind, guys. Where did you buy that car? I bought it from Jackie Ding. How do these press car arrangements work? Okay, so I work with Toyota's marketing department and product relations department, and I ask them for a car, and they say, okay, here's the car. It's very simplified. Toyota is currently sending Supras to all the big publications. We're just lucky we're getting one first because Toyota loves us, and we are 15 minutes away from Toyota headquarters. Very important. So yeah. Thoughts on the new 26 hours cannonball record? Okay, this is cool. So a lot of people who do cross-country craziness they didn't approve of the new 26-hour cannonball record because like, oh, it's coronavirus, oh, there's less people on the road, blah, blah, blah. Why would you want to do a cannonball when there's more people on the road? If you're smart, you would do it when there's less people on the road. Richard said the most very clever thing when we were having a discussion about this very thing, and he said, sounds like a businessman doing business things. So I agree with that. I think it's a legitimate record. I hope they don't get arrested or whatever, statute of limitations. I think it's legit. I think it's wonderful. I'm glad they used this opportunity to do it. I think it's better that people are doing silly things with less people on the road than with more people on the road because it's less dangerous. Don't street race. It's bad. What's up, guys? It's Surya. Hey, what's up, Surya, man? How you doing? What kind of turbo is this? Sorry, I'm gonna keep going. Cool beans. Are you upset they should have updated the Supra video? Updated the Supra in 1 year. Pardon me. Am I upset? No, because Tada-san told me he was going to do that. He said he was going to do it year by year. I'm not real salty about it. A lot of people are like, oh my God, like it's such a bad thing that like, oh, my 2020 is going to drop in value, this and that. Just enjoy your car, man. There's no difference. This car with a flash tune, literally, I take this and I plug in an OBD and 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes, 5 minutes, I tune the car, okay? It makes more horsepower than a 2021. Simple as that, man. If you're really worried about making 60 more horsepower, you can make 100 more horsepower with a tune. Don't even worry about it, man. There's not enough of a difference. Just be happy that Toyota is striving to make these cars better and better each year, okay? Otherwise, what? Would you prefer it end up like a 350Z, 370Z, the same car for like 2 decades? Fix it, do better, make it better every year. Do comparison video, B50 Fader 2Z. I think there is a video on that. Some people make videos on that. Yeah, I could talk about it. I wouldn't mind talking about it. Are the design updates? Okay, this is a great question from Manny. Are the design updates for the motor for 2021 Toyota or BMW design? The answer is both, and I'll tell you exactly why. The motor in this car, meaning this 2020 car, is not exactly the same as the motor in the Z4. Okay, I know a lot of people think they're exactly the same, but they're not. This car has a fair few differences here and there. The head, the turbocharger, a couple other random things. The motor in the 2021 Supra is now more similar to the Z4 in some ways, but also more different. Complicated. It goes to a 6-port head design, okay, and an accompanying turbocharger, but Toyota has bespoke internals for the B58 in the Supra. How do we know this? Because the compression ratio is different, okay? So the head is now more similar to the Z4, but the bottom end is now slightly more different. The turbocharger will also be different. Obviously, the mapping will be different. So it is Toyota taking some BMW stuff and then modifying it to better suit their car. So that's the answer to that. It is both Toyota and BMW stuff. Thoughts on the Gambala Mirage GT crash? Yeah, Ben Chen crashed. I think he is an awful human being. I know that's a big thing to say. He was drugged or drunk, speeding in broad daylight in the morning through New York City in Hell's Kitchen. Like, he could have easily lost control and mowed down like 6 people instead of hitting that Sienna with no one in it. Or that Sienna may have had 3 kids in the back and he could have killed them. Like, that guy should be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's a big dummy. Sucks that that car got destroyed, but who cares, man? Better that car get destroyed than lives. So I think he is an idiot. And I think Ben Chen is a stupid guy. Are you allowed to dine at the 2021 Supra to quote its power at the wheels? I have a feeling it's going to be the same pattern, quoted 335 and 382. Am I allowed to? Probably not. That's all I'm going to say. After the embargo is up, there's an embargo on driving impressions and all the other stuff that I talked about earlier. The embargo will be up sometime in June or something like that. I will let you guys know then. But will it be identical to the 2021 Z4? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Crispy Crisp. The rotary in the 787B is the coolest. I agree. That had the 4-rotor goodness, and it made the coolest noise, and the brap braps, and the brap 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 brap. Where do you stand on the best sounding V10 debate? LFA. Come on. If there's ever a question where the answer is LFA or something else, I'm picking the LFA. Unless it's like, which car is bad? Anyways, the LFA, by far and away. Best sounding V10. I think one of the most impressive motors of all time. Are you planning on doing anything like the rest of the community? Wide body, liberal. Nah. I'm not into the wide bodies. I think it's quite silly because you can fit like a 305, 315 on the back of this car. Why would I need more tire than that? Like, how much power am I going to make? Like, if you're going to do a wide body, I appreciate it that some people want the aesthetics. But if you don't need more tire, like, you're just going to make the car worse to drive. So, driving dynamics first. Don't make your cars worse to drive because you want them to look cool. I think that's silly. Wow, has it really been 2 hours? Wow, I guess it has flown by. I've been just speaking. Dark, if you had to die in a car, which one would you choose? I mean, I guess the answer would be an LFA in that question too. So, because then at least I'd be driving my favorite car. Quentin, thanks for doing this. Yeah, man, I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm glad I'm doing this too. Maybe I'll do more of this stuff. I know. So for patrons on Patreon, I have live streams that I do regularly. Again, if you want to join Patreon, you can check it in the description. But I like doing these live streams too. I think they're more fun, they're more interactive. I like listening to what you guys ask about. Here's the thing. As I mentioned, I'm getting a 2021 Supra on Monday. How about this? I will do a live stream with a 2021 Supra in my hand, and we will go around the car and we can talk about it and we can compare it to this car. We can have them side by side. How about that? I think you guys would like that too. So I will do that for you guys sometime this week. So stay tuned. I'll post about it on Instagram and stuff like that. We'll look at the 2021 Supra in depth. We'll be the first people to do it too. So if you guys want to do that, then we'll be the front runners on that. So I think that'd be really cool. New wheels and tires for the Supra. Yeah, so new tires, obviously, as I mentioned. Got these Contis right here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just getting new tires on them. And then new wheels, I'm waiting on 18-inch wheel options. I want more 18-inch wheel options. Right now, the only wheels are the Titan TS5s, or whatever they're called. They're 18 by 10.7 all around. If there are better 18-inch wheel options, then I will look into those. But I don't want to make custom wheels because I don't got no money. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Revenant. What do you think of Honda Civics? I like Honda Civics. I love Honda Civics. EK Civics, some of my favorite cars of all time. I'd love to buy an EG Civic and build it, even though everyone's done that. You know, Gears and Gasoline is doing a K24 in an EK Civic right now. Go check that out. It's a wonderful, wonderful build. Ben Love you guys. You guys are such nice people. I like to talk camera stuff with those guys. They are awesome filmmakers. Um, Thought on Lexus's situation with their fun cars. I think Lexus is doing all right. I think the LCF, which is coming out soon-ish, uh, keep in mind, I think every major sports car is going to get delayed because of all this coronavirus stuff. I know it's kind of sad, but that's the truth. I think Lexus, the LCF, even the LC500, it's a good car when you look at it from the lens of a luxury GT car. You know, when you compare the LC500 with perhaps an Aston Martin DB11 or something like that, I think it presents good value and is on par in terms of a luxury GT car. Fun cars, I think they can do better, but I think the LCF is a good step in the right direction. I think the GSF is a really good car. Love the GSF. 100% would rock a GSF. They're in the 30s now with miles, by the way. So if you're looking for a good sedan, get a GSF. The RC needs help, but either axe it or fix it. I don't know. But Lexus, they'll get there. You taking the time out of your day to speak with us? Really cool. Yeah, of course, man. This is a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's 21 Supra live stream. Will happen. Naveed, I feel like Lexus has been slacking off. They kill off the GS and placing them right. Yeah, agreed. Like Lexus is, they're not focusing on the things that we like, but they are focusing on trying to be like a technology forward brand, meaning more fuel cell, more EV, more techie stuff that is also luxury. So, Tim Manning, fantastic question. Is Toyota dropping off the cars at your house, or do you have to go to headquarters to get it? Toyota is dropping off the cars at my house and leaving the keys under like the mat or something like that. Like that's like I've been emailing them back and forth on how we're going to do it. There's going to be zero human contact when I get these cars. They're going to come, they're going to park it in front of my house, they're going to leave the keys in it, and they're going to be like, hey, we're here, bye, and they're going to leave. And then I'm going to go with my Clorox wipes, I'm going to wipe everything down, and then I'm going to have a 2021 Supra. So that's what's going to happen. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a weird thing? Usually what I do when I pick up a car from Toyota, I drive to Toyota headquarters with a friend, and I just pick it up from in front of the headquarters building. So, but not the case this time. As of right now, do you know any Trax auto parks that are open right now? I'm sure there are some. They shouldn't be, but depends on the state you're in. I'm sure some states that don't have quite as strict sheltering home and lockdown stuff, which they should, don't get me wrong, are open, but they shouldn't be. A lot of track days are getting canceled. I know a few people that run track days, and it's bad for them. They're having to refund people money, and so. But yeah, most tracks are closed. I've seen people do insane things with BMW diesels. Would you consider doing a diesel build? Heck, yes. Yes. If I could get my hands on a B57, that'd be so cool. They don't sell them in the United States, I don't think. The B57 is the diesel version of this motor. Amazing. However, the N57, that's the 335D, 535D motor. They're very stout. They had some issues, but they're very stout. I think they're very cool engines. They make a ton of torque, ton of torque. So I'd love to build one someday. Any love for Toyota Cressida builds? Love Cressidas, man. Love Chasers. I love everything Toyota, man. Aristos, Cressidas, Chasers. I don't personally, I'm not going to build like a drift Cressida or a Chaser or anything. That's like for everyone's done that. But for sure, like once I start doing more drift events and stuff like that, I think we can outline a bunch of drift builds. I know people with Cressidas and Chasers that love them. So Jay, thanks for the stream. Yeah, man, thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. It's good stuff. Naveed, love the GSF. Let me catch up. Randy added one JZ R154 Cresta. Awesome. I want to see more of it. DM me pictures of it because I really want to look at it. What is your address? Yeah, sure, man. Just come by. You guys can all take a spin. You guys, look at this. I'll put my address publicly. I'll dox myself, and then all you guys will just come. You guys can drive the Supra around, and then just make sure you park it back in my driveway. It's good. No one will know. Randy's doing a Fox Body Jay-Z build right now. Oh my God, that's so cool. What transmission are you putting behind the Jay-Z and the Fox? Are you adapting like a world class, or are you doing what else? Also building a 454 70 Chevelle. Dang, that sounds awesome. Randy, well before, awesome job. Yeah, I feel for you, man. I'm sorry, but hopefully you will get back on your feet soon. I know it's tough. Unemployment is insane. Many millions of people. But yeah, man, we'll bounce back. B57 plus F2120D. Oh man, that gotta be great, man. I want to do a B57 build would be nice. Just in the United States, they never sold the 335 with the N57. Right? They sold the 330 diesel back in the day, before 2008. And then after 2009, they never sold the 335D in the United States. They sold the 535D. So that was the only way to get into a N57, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. Thank you, Randy. Thoughts on the Bugatti 0 to 400? Okay. I'm glad you asked that. I just watched that, by the way. Very cool. I really appreciate everything that gentleman makes. He's worked on some really top-notch projects as the DP or his team and stuff like that. So very cool stuff. Makes sense. Obviously, if you want a Bugatti to go fast and you want someone to film it, use another Bugatti. Obviously, makes sense. And so it makes sense. Like he talked about how it was very difficult to get the cars to launch at the exact same time, so that they would both do their like full top speed runs, like simultaneously, because one car launches before the other and then it pulls out a frame. So very cool. I love watching those making of videos. I think they're the coolest things in the world. Those things are very inspirational. I really recommend, if you guys haven't watched it, it's a making of Bugatti 0 to 400 0. But it's very cool stuff. Seeing how people make practical effects in movies. For example, if you watch the behind the scenes of Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, very cool stuff that happened in that film as well. It helps a lot with making your own movies and stuff like that too. So, Juan Pablo Montoya is freaking legend from Chicago. Juan Pablo Montoya has done every single racing and automotive thing in the world, and a lot of crazy stuff. Yes, the new Koenigsegg 4-seater, very cool. What's it called? It starts with J, right? I don't know, something weird. Gamera or Jamera? I don't remember. But yes, very cool. It's got the wacky doors and the 4-seaters. Christian von Koenigsegg is definitely one of the greatest car minds of all time. And I think the stuff that he creates is definitely some of the coolest stuff. As far as like supercar, hypercars go, I think his stuff is pretty much some of my favorite stuff. Him and Pagani, Horacio Pagani. He's an artist, right? Like the Koenigsegg is the engineer, and Horacio Pagani is the artist of the hypercar world. And I think they both represent something very cool. And I think they're my favorites out of all. They're everyone's favorites. Let's be honest. So, but yeah. Okay. Wow, it's 7 o'clock. All right. Well, probably is my cue to leave. This has been a bit of a long stream, but yeah, I'm gonna start signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys had some awesome questions. I will be back. I will hopefully be releasing some Supra build videos soon. Thank you guys for being on. I will be back with a stream on the 2021 Supra. So stay tuned for that. I'll post on Instagram and stuff about that. Obviously, you haven't subscribe and like videos and watch them or whatever, or do something like that. Randy says do Instagram Live next time. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's better, what's not. I might just do both. Maybe I'll do like a longer live stream with YouTube and maybe like a short run stream. I don't know. Either way, again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to support us on Patreon, the link's in the description. And yeah, man. Shoot me a DM if you got any questions or you just want to talk cars or whatever. Just at Albon Films on Instagram. If you guys have any comments or whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, peace. I'll see you guys later. I know I didn't work on the car, but I'll make videos about that. Remember, I do that. Anyways, bye.